What's going on, guys? Like Butter here, and welcome to another Division video. Today I want to be comparing two weapons. I just did a video 2 days ago on the Classic AK. If you're watching this before the reset, which is very soon, let me go check for you guys really quickly. I'm going to be comparing the exotic version of the Classic AK, which you guys know as the Warlord. I've been asked quite a few times in my last video if the Warlord is also viable, since the Classic AK is good, and I want to give my opinion on that and tell you guys, kind of what's going on. So there's 4 hours left to grab this Classic AK. I would definitely grab it if you can. This first talent needs to be rolled for either responsive or unforgiving. I'm actually starting to think unforgiving would be a little bit better, but I got a Warlord to drop yesterday, and I thought I would go through and do a video and give you guys my opinion. So first thing is that the Warlord looks absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best looking weapons in the game. However, I really don't think that this weapon is good, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Alright, just to compare the two, recoil patterns, I showed you guys yesterday or the day before that the AK is going to go really far up and to the right. Now, the black market AK has a little bit different of a recoil pattern. It goes more like this at an angle, and then of course the military AKM kind of goes back and forth a little bit. So I want to compare these two weapons in general, because they are actually the same exact version of each other, and I'll show you guys why. So here is the recoil pattern. I'm going to put it right in the middle of the bullseye right there, and I'm going to just not pull down on my mouse. I'm not going to move my mouse whatsoever. I'm just going to hold it down so you guys can see where the recoil goes. So it's going to go right on the right side of that light there that we just knocked out. It ends up being like right here. So let's compare that to the Warlord, and you guys are going to see that the recoil patterns between these two weapons are exactly the same. So recoil patterns are the same. I was hoping that the Warlord had a better recoil pattern, but you can see they're literally identical. And the only difference that I've noticed is the Warlord seems to drop higher enemy armor damage, at least for me. This could be totally objectable, like, this could end up rolling at like 21% or something like that. So you can see the difference between these two weapons is just 100 damage. That's it. And the RPM's the same, the recoil pattern, the range, the stability, everything is exactly identical. So the only difference between the Classic AK47 and the Warlord is, in my opinion, and some people may not agree with this, but I think that the play rough talent is completely pointless. So damage taken is reduced by 20% when firing. The taken damage is applied when you stop firing. So if you look at this on paper, you're still going to take the same amount of damage anyways. The only difference is that you're going to take a little bit less damage when you're shooting the Warlord, and then when you're done firing the Warlord, you're going to take that damage. So I've seen some people given like suggestions saying, well, Drew, if you have a teammate that's running a healer build, they're healing you constantly and you're getting the overheal all the time, and it can be used for like a tank because you can sit in front and take a lot of damage. The problem with that is that especially if you're going to be a tank and you're going to be in the front of the fight, you're going to be taking a lot of damage from different sources, and it's very hard to micromanage how much damage you're taking in order to know if you're going to take a lot of damage or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some attachments on here. I think I'm going to put headshot damage on, since I have brutal as my first talent. So we're just going to put headshot damage pretty much on everything. And what I want to show you guys is kind of how the Warlord works. If you've never gotten it before, it drops in Falcon Loss. I got it in a exotic cache. And I obviously wasn't like too excited about it, because I personally think that the Warlord is a very, very bad weapon, because if you have to build your entire, your build and your items around a single talent, especially if the talent doesn't really do anything. Now, it'd be different if you got 20% reduction while you were aiming, and then you got the damage to you over time. Something like that would be a little bit better, and that was one of my suggestions back before the weapon was released. And that way, since you're getting the damage over time, it's kind of like, spreading the damage out over a little bit, so it gives you time to react. But you'll see here when we go clear this HVT, I forgot to grab it like a noob. When we go clear this HVT, I'm going to use the Warlord, and I want to show you guys kind of like how you take less damage, but it doesn't really matter because you take the damage, like the full amount of damage that you were going to take anyways. So I could see it being kind of nice because you could shoot and then like, you know, like basically waste time long enough for you to kind of get your cooldowns. But in my opinion, if you have to basically just offset one of the talents, then it's just not worth it, because here we're giving up something like competent, which is 10% extra damage when you use a skill, and basically I don't think it's very good. Now if you guys have a way that you can make this gun, you know, usable, that's fantastic, but I think a lot of people kind of just want to use it just to use it because they think it looks really cool, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't care how the guns look, and you don't care, you know, that it's an exotic weapon, you know, I don't think you guys are gonna find this weapon very good. So let's go over here. You also got to remember, taking 20% less damage is, like I said, pretty great, but I just can't find a situation where it's going to be helpful, considering, you know, it's basically just spreading the damage out. Alright, so let's see here. So you can see the damage is much like the AK. It's actually exactly the same. Let's see here, just kind of keep clearing this out. Now, I was shooting there, so watch me take a chunk of damage there. Do you see that? Now with Nimble, you could kind of counteract this a little bit, but with the newer version of Nimble, I think not many of you guys are going to be running it because I don't think it's very good. You see the Warlord, it's doing a good amount of damage, but like you'll see here that I'll start taking a little bit of damage once I go behind cover. So I'm firing, and then see, it just chunked me while I was behind cover. Now it's not a lot of damage, but I just don't see the point if you're taking damage. If you're taking less damage, what's the point of taking less damage if you're, you know, gonna take it anyways? I really don't understand the point of this talent. Alright, let's get this guy. Now, like I said, if it was over time, it would, you know, give you time to kind of get behind cover and whatnot. But see, here we go. I'm getting chunked. Let's try to get our health back there. I mean, I like the idea, but it's just... Oh, look at that. Look at that, dude. I'm gonna die. Like, you can definitely face tank more. Now, I think this is going to be even worse for PvP because you're gonna have so much concentrated damage on you.
Warning. Incoming hostiles detected.
So we're definitely doing it, but this isn't anything that I couldn't do with, like, you know, a classic AK and then having an extra talent. You're basically giving up a talent for free. So a lot of people were asking for, you know, more of like an upgraded, build tutorial or an upgraded, uh-oh, this is bad. Okay. So people were asking for me to do a PvP, video on how the classic AK holds up. I haven't tested it enough properly quite yet for me to feel comfortable making a video on it. I've had kind of mixed feelings about how it is in PvP, but I'll continue to test it and we'll figure out hopefully soon. There we go. My ult popped there. I wasn't expecting that. Now, if the Warlord had higher base damage or something like that, it would, you know, in a better recoil pattern, I could be like, okay, well, you know, there's a reason that you want to use it because of, you know, because of just that. But with the recoil pattern being exactly the same and you're not having any more enemy armor damage, just like I have 1% and 100 more damage than my AK, I really don't see a point. So there it is in action. You know, I didn't do too bad. Oh, we got a military AKM. Let's check that out. That military AK might save me. All right, let's grab this. Let's grab all this gear here. We can just sell it. All right, let's check that military AK. Focused, ferocious, and competent. So just to show you guys the difference, you see how the military AK has a little bit of a different pattern. It kind of goes left and right. Essentially does kind of the same thing. It goes up and to the right, but it doesn't go as high as like the other one. Or was that the classic AK that I was shooting? No, it was the military. Okay. So military and then classic. Classic has a more drastic like kind of turn. I think even like the black market might be a little bit better, but yeah, so I've definitely been trying to you know, keep as much like footage and as much gameplay as I can with the AKs to kind of give you guys more of an idea. I think that the slower rate of fire weapons definitely are, you know, superior to the higher rate of fire weapons. I think the higher rate of fire weapons will always be you know, the choice, because you know, the higher the amount of damage you can do quickly with burst damage and cheese damage, you can usually put people down pretty fast. And I noticed that the AK, especially in PvP, kind of just does a lot of consistent damage, so maybe more of like a Predator's Mark build would work better. So that's definitely something I want to try out in the future. But as good as the Warlord looks, I mean, look at how sexy that chrome and gold finish is. It's just not very good. It is not worth the, you know, using it as an exotic. I mean, it's an exotic, but the third talent just isn't cutting it for me, and I think it's pretty weak. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to drop the video a like. Let me know what you guys think of the Warlord in the comment section below, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.
I'm not holding back for anyone.